What's up, Nick?
Yeah. I know.
Double fuzzy.
I know.
Yeah, double fuzzy.
Gotta block the wind, man. It's real windy.
Yeah, it's real windy.
It's real
I
windy
get
here.
it.
Like,
It's an icebreaker.
I think your microphones are into furry shit. They're gonna be fucking each other.
His has been through a little bit more. Mine's
Yeah,
a little
looks like
fuzzier.
you just don't know what went on at the hotel.
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting.
We don't got to get into that. All right, it's on. Got it.
Hi, guys.
So, last year was the league's first Comic-Con. Everyone was here. You weren't able to attend. How has your first experience with Comic-Con gone?
It's super fun. I mean, it's really cool. Like, obviously, the funny thing about Comic-Con and these panels, like not in here, but when you're doing the panels, is like, hey, you guys love the show? Go fuck yourselves. That seems to be the general way it works, and people are like, yeah, go fuck ourselves. People seem pretty excited, even though like we kind of find the youngest child and focus on that child, and then tell everybody else their questions are stupid and that they're ugly, and people seem to enjoy it. But the truth is, it's pretty amazing to show up and have like 4,000 people or however many people are in that hall who really love the show and are fans. It's really cool. I mean, it's like, we shoot the show in LA in our little bubble, and occasionally we'll go out and we'll go on, do a little tour, we'll do something, and it's pretty amazing. It's like this little thing that we do for 4 or 5 months, and it's cool that people really kind of love the show. And watching a show live, when you do a TV show, you watch it in your house or you read Twitter, but you can't really feel people laughing. So being able to watch an episode with an audience and seeing where the laughs are is cool.
So what do you feel like it is about the show that seems to resonate so well with viewers? I mean, the fan base has just grown enormously.
Yeah, I think it's obviously fantasy football is such a good entry point because so many people are playing it, but it still feels like something that you do specifically with your friends. And so there's something versus like a show about a bunch of guys who hang out at a bar. It's like, yeah, that feels so general. We know everybody hangs out at a bar, but like fantasy, there's something about it. But really, I think that just becomes an entry point, and then it becomes about like obviously a group of buddies. And then beyond that, it's that like Jeff and Jackie coming from Seinfeld and Curb. I think he has such a good facility to create like terms and language and things that people then relate to and can assume within their own league or within their own group of friends. So I think that and I feel like there's a lot of like what's crazy is that I have like 12-year-old kids coming to me like, I'm a big fan of the show because they play fantasy football or whatever, and then I have like my siblings, friends who are in their 40s and 50s being like, love the show, because it works from like parents to kids pretty effectively.
Absolutely. I know they were talking yesterday too about kind of like it's almost like a resurgence of like the bro show.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I mean? And I think that it kind of...
Look, you're not going to find a bigger bro than me. But yeah. No, go ahead.
Well, you guys kind of admit also that you're playing terrible people.
Yeah.
So is there something about sort of like the resurgence of like the anti-hero and pop culture that you think you guys are kind of riding that wave into?
I mean, I think the dramas like, the Breaking Bads and Mad Men, and I think those shows really benefit off of, it propels them forward to have an anti-hero because you are constantly at odds with yourself for rooting for someone, and there's something really engaging about that. With us, I think it's more about like you're just enjoying watching people sort of like fuck with each other, but somehow you think that these guys do find each other amusing. But I think it's a little less for the comedy about the anti-hero and more about the comedy that meanness can inspire. If that makes, I don't know.
I would say you're like the Walter White of that group. You crush people constantly.
Yeah, but it's so funny because in real life we're actually a very caring, sweet group of people to each other. Like when
just yell Gattaca. Come on.
Yeah, it's coming. So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because we're actually very kind to one another, and I think it's funny that and then we get on camera and it's like, you're a piece of shit, you look like a jack off, it's like it's maybe we get it out of the way on camera.